Hi everyone, Tyler Mannion here, NPC and IFBB Pro League Vice President, and we're going to go over the recap for the Arnold Classic Bikini Division. In first place we had Lauralee, and in second place we had Amy. Again, this was an extremely close show between the two of them. Now, when it comes to the front pose, as we see here, I think the edge goes to Lauralee a little bit. She has a great hourglass shape. She brought her lower body and upper body in much better balance than she was in at the Olympia last year. She doesn't need to get her shoulders any bigger. However, at this show, I thought her arms were just a touch thin, which probably happened because she made sure she had to downsize from the Olympia. Now here, when you compare to Amy in the front pose, her shoulders could stand to come down a little bit. Amy's shoulders are a little big, so they could stand to come down. But overall, Amy has great balance too between her upper and her lower body. The muscles everywhere are full and round on both of these women, and they both have great bikini front poses. But for me, from the front, Lauralee takes it by a hair. Then we move to the back pose. Now, this back pose was extremely close between these two. I think this is where the toss-up is and why the panel was basically split right down the middle, 6-5. On these women. So as you see, they both have full round glutes. They're in the right conditioning. They're both their conditioning was great. You're not seeing any separation or striation in their hamstrings. You're not seeing the separation or striation in their glutes. Their overall shape is both great. So you really could go either way at this show with them. I think that Lauralee could still use a little bit more of that depth to her glute that she normally has. However, again, probably just didn't have it all the way because she did have to downsize a good bit from the Olympia. And then when they walked, I thought Amy's glutes stayed fuller than Lauralee's. Lauralee's kind of flattened out a little bit during the walk. So the front pose, I thought the edge went to Lauralee. The walk, from the front and the back, I thought the overall walk went to Amy, and now the back pose was extremely tight between these two. So that's how you get a split panel in bikini when the girls are this close. So really a great showing by both of them. Like I said, Lauralee, I think, could use just a touch more of that fullness overall that she normally has now that she's back down to the size that she needs to be, and everything is much more in balance than it was. For Amy, I think she can just work on downsizing the shoulders just a little bit, and then still working on the front pose to see if you can find a way to, enhance her hourglass shape just a little bit more. Next in bikini, we had Vanya in third place. I thought this was probably the best Vanya has ever looked. For her feedback, she needs to be careful of getting any more muscular in her upper body. She carries a good bit of muscularity there. So even if she could bring that down just a hair, it would probably enhance her look. And then for her, she needs more depth to her glutes in the back pose and when she's doing the bikini walk. So those are the two main areas of focus for her. But her conditioning was right on, and it was a very, very strong look. And then lastly, in fourth place, we had Angelica making her comeback. I thought her front pose was very strong. She used to have a little bit of a distension in her stomach, and I thought, coming back and making sure that it was, flat the whole time was a great improvement. The main improvement that she needs to make for her physique is she needs more fullness and depth to her glutes. So her conditioning was great everywhere else, but the conditioning in the glutes didn't quite match, and that's because the muscle fullness wasn't there, so the muscle was pushing against the skin the way the muscle pushes against the skin with the rest of her body. So for her, it's just improving the glutes as the season goes on, and while she's making this comeback, but overall a very strong comeback from her. So that's the recap for the bikini division.